Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So there are two great personalities today whom we want to remember. They both disappeared from this world back to the spiritual world today. There's firstly Gauridas Pandit, and next is Rupa Goswami. So we want to seek their good wishes, their blessings. When days like this come, we remember these acharyas, these great devotees, and we want to follow in their footsteps, or we want them to give us blessings so that we can advance in our Krishna consciousness. That's why these days are actually very, very important for us. So very, very nice that we're able to share and remember these glorious personalities. And I wanted to seek your good wishes and your blessings as well, so that we can glorify them adequately. Of course, it's not possible to completely glorify these amazing personalities. Gauridas Pandit was the Gopa Subal of very close associate of Lord Krishna. Now, I think he's one of the main 8 principal Gopas, and he is not very different from Krishna himself, in fact. Subal Saka, one of the dearmost cowherd friends of Krishna, appeared as Sri Gauridas Pandit in the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, born in the village of Shaligram as the 4th son out of 6 of Sri Kansari Mishra and Kamala Devi. He moved on to Ambika Kalna. Being the younger brother of Suryadas Sarakela, the father of Janava Devi and Vasudha Devi. So Suryadas is a very interesting personality. He's the father of the wives, the consorts of Nityananda, Janava and Vasudha. So he was their uncle and a very dear associate of Nityananda. One day, the two lords, Chaitanya and Nityananda, came to Kalna from Shantipur by boat, paddling it themselves. Lord Chaitanya kept the oar in his hands, and when he entered Gauridas's house, he gave it to him, saying, "With this you should cross over the ocean of material existence, taking all living entities with you." Near the end of Navadvip pastimes, when Mahaprabhu desired to accept sannyas, he came to Kalna to bid farewell to Gauridas. They had a really interesting relationship. We'll see that a bit later on. At that time, Gauridas became extremely afflicted by separation. He insisted Mahaprabhu to remain in Kalna, and being bound by the love of his devotee, Mahaprabhu revealed his and Nityananda Prabhu's form in a nearby neem tree, which was carved into their deity forms. Very interesting. Gauridas, however, was still crying, but he piteously and incessantly, consoling him in this way, the two lords came before him in the company of the two deities. Seeing the 4 of them standing before him, Gauridas was astonished. So from this tree, Gauritai came as in the form of deity. So 2 sets of Gauritai were standing right in front of Gauridas. Mahaprabhu then gave Gauridas a choice of who he would like to remain with him, either the lordships or the deities. Naturally, Gauridas begged for Mahaprabhu to remain with him. Mahaprabhu obliged, being desirous to please his dear devotee. Indeed, there is no difference between the holy names, the forms, and the deity forms of the Lord. So this is the deities still being worshipped in Kalna, I believe. I haven't been there, but really look tremendously beautiful.
So those deities are Gaur Nitai.
That's right. And they looked exactly the same as the form of Gaur Nitai. Yes, Riyansh.
Can I share my screen after you tell about Gauridas Baba?
Sure. Okay, you can. Therefore, it can be understood that the Lord stayed with him And the deities carried on the pastimes of Mahaprabhu in Nilachal Puri. When Gauridas would worship his dear lords, Gaura and Nityananda, the lords would personally come and eat all the bhoga that he was lovingly offering them. Even today, one can visit the temple of Sri Gauridas in Ambika, Kalna, and take darshan of Gaunitai, along with the other deities. The paddle also given to him by Gaura Hari, along with the Bhagavad Gita manuscript, said to have been written by Mahaprabhu himself. This is really treasure stuff. Gauridas' dearmost disciple was Hridayananda. Yes, Naniben.
Yes, I was reading this and I read about the Bhagavad Gita that was personally written by Mahaprabhu. Must be somewhere.
It's apparently here, Ambika Kalna.
Yeah, it must be there. Okay.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to visit there one day.
Yes, very interesting.
It's in Bengal, so
yes.
Never know. We might make it one day.
Yeah.
One time on the occasion of Lord Gauranga's birthday anniversary, Gauridas went to visit some of his disciples. At the time of going, he left Hridayananda in charge of worshipping the deities, which Hridayananda began to do in full love. Gradually, the appearance day of Mahaprabhu drew very near. When there were only 3 days remaining, still Gauridas had not returned home. Hridayananda deliberated for some time about what should be done, and finally, being prompted on his own, sent out invitations to all the devotees and disciples to attend the festival. Just after that, Gauridas returned. Hridayananda informed his Guru Dev. He had written out invitations and sent them to the devotees. Of course, within himself, Gauridas was very pleased by Hridayananda's service, but externally he pretended to be angry. And he said, even in my absence, you show so much independence, sending out invitations hither and thither. Anyway, whatever this upstart has done is done, but he will not be able to remain here. Hearing this, Hridayananda offered his obeisances, went to sit underneath a tree on the bank of the Ganga. Shortly thereafter, a rich man passed by in a boat, hailed Hridayananda, wishing to make a donation. But instead of accepting the donation himself, Hridayananda sent him to his guru, Gauridas. However, Gauridas sent the man back to Hridayananda and told him to accept the donation and with it hold a festival on the bank of the Ganga. As per the order of his guru, Hridayananda began to mark the necessary preparations. Gradually, the people he had sent invitations to began to arrive. But upon hearing that a festival was being held on the Ganga riverbank, they proceeded there first. In the company of many devotees, Hridayananda chanted and danced ecstatically. The Sankirtan was so blissful and attractive that their lordships themselves, Shri Gaunitai, came to take part in the dancing and singing. Hridayananda was very fortunate to see all of this. Now, this is really interesting what happens next. Meanwhile, Gauridas was holding a festival in his house. When the time came for making an offering, the pujari, Poro Gangadas, Pandit, entered the deity room only to find that there were no deities. They were here with Hridayananda. He immediately informed Gauridas. Gauridas could understand the matter very well, and smiling, he picked up a stick and proceeded towards the Kirtan festival on the bank of the Ganga. Arriving there, he saw the two transcendental brothers engaged in ecstatic dancing. Shri Gaunitai also saw Gauridas approaching in an angry mood with a stick in his hand, and they quickly and silently entered the temple of Hridayananda's heart. This is amazing. Seeing this, Gauridas couldn't resist his tears of ecstasy. He forgot his anger. He ran towards Hridayananda with his arms outstretched. Firmly embracing him, he said, "You are so fortunate. From today, your name is Hridaya Chaitanya." Thereafter, Gauridas appointed Hridaya Chaitanya as a sevak of the deities. What an amazing pastime. After having assisted in the pastime of Sri Gaurahari, Sri Gauridas Pandit departed from this material world on Shukla Dwadasi Tithi in the month of Shravan, thus making it a most auspicious day. On this day, we pray to the dust of his lotus feet that we may also be able to develop pure love for the lotus feet of Sri Satchinandan and Sri Radha Shyamsundar. So this is his Samadhi place. I haven't been there personally, but it must be in Ambika Kolna. And that's it. Any questions, any comments? This is Gauridas Pandit Ki Jai. Oh, yes. You can share, yes. You can do it now. Go for it.
Yes, slowly.
Aha. Very nice.
The same deities.
Same deities, yeah. Very good. Nice outfits. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, Gauridas Pandit Ki Jai.